Tonight's class is a balancing class, and to start, what I'd like everyone to do is to get into a child's pose, because child's pose is a really, really good place to kind of decompress, especially with the energy of the summer coming on board. So just getting yourself comfortable with your knees maybe apart. If you want to take your pillow or your bolster and use it underneath your forehead or underneath your hips, go right ahead. And then just settle into a child's pose. You can have your arms maybe down by your sides instead of outstretched in front. So just wiggling in and finding a shape that feels right for you. And just allowing yourself to settle here. Allowing everything to get heavy. Maybe scanning your body to see where you might be tight and tense. Sending your breath into those areas that are a little crunchy. And with each exhalation, just feel yourself sinking a little bit deeper towards the floor. Maybe feeling your hips sinking a little closer to your heels. Almost as if you're melting into the mat. And as you breathe, breathing in and out, see if you can get your inhale and your exhale to be equal distances. So if you're inhaling to the count of 4, or 5, or 6, gradually get your exhale to be that length as well. Noticing all the stress and tension just melting away with each exhalation. And while you're here, maybe pondering, what is it that you need to bring into balance a little bit more into your life? Or what is it that you need to let go of in order to create a little bit more balance in your life? And just pondering that thought. And we'll take 5 more breaths here. And from this beautiful child's pose shape, we're going to come into a rabbit's pose. So if you have any high blood pressure issues, you might want to just stay where you are in child's pose. But if everything is okay, we're just going to roll onto the top of our head slightly, making sure that you're not straining your neck, just allowing the top of your head to rest on the mat. Getting the blood flowing. And just following your breath here. We're not going to stay here for too much longer, so just another 5 more breaths. And then just bringing your hands back underneath so your palms are on the mat. We're going to slowly lift our head up, making sure it's feeling okay for you. And just take a moment to sit, maybe on the back of your heels if that feels comfortable. Allowing the flow of blood to regulate back. Close your eyes here. Just noticing how you're feeling in this moment. And then we'll slowly come onto our sits bones. Sending your legs out in front, just give them a little wiggle. Maybe point your toes and then flex your feet. Getting some circulation back into those legs. Just like unkinking a hose. Getting that fresh energy flowing. And from here, we're going to come into another forward fold. So take your right leg and bend it in. If you need to put a pillow under your knee or a bolster, if that feels more comfortable, go for it. And we're going to fold forward. So if you also wanted to take that pillow in front of you and use it as a little bit of a prop, you can do that as well. And then just folding forward until you find some resistance, and then letting your head relax down, maybe stacking your fists, letting your forehead rest on your fists. Checking in to see where there might be tension. Sending your breath into those tight spots. Allowing your shoulders to relax. Allowing all the muscles in your face to soften. And anything that doesn't need to be working here, just let it relax. Nice and soft. So forward folds are great for readjusting, getting balanced, de-stressing. If you've had a stressful day, it's nice just to fold forward. Allowing your shoulders to relax. And we'll stay here for a few more breaths. And then very slowly and gently, just rolling yourself back up. And we'll take that bent knee and stretch it out. Give it a little wiggle. And we'll get ready to do the other side. So bringing the left leg in, checking to see how this side feels. We're not always balanced from left to right, so you might find this side might be a bit tighter. So setting your pillow or bolster up wherever it feels comfortable, either in front or under your knee. And when you're ready, we'll just lower back down. And just letting your head rest wherever it ends up. Maybe stacking your fists. Coming into this lovely shape. And noticing any differences from this side to the other side that we just did. Sending your loving breath into any tight spots. And the Yin practice is a great way to create balance. That balance between movement and stillness. So finding the stillness within yourself. Finding that place where the thoughts just float on by like fluffy white clouds. Creating that beautiful blue sky in your mind. And we'll take 5 more breaths here. And very slowly again, just bringing yourself back up. Moving any props out of the way and stretching your legs out in a little shake. Now we're going to come into a fire log pose. So taking your right shin parallel maybe to the side of your mat. And then we're going to stack the left shin on top. So checking to see if this feels okay. It's pretty intense hip opener here. So if you're finding it's too much for your hips, you might want to put some props underneath your knees. Or if it's just not feeling quite right at all, you can come into an easy pose just with your legs crossed. So play around with it, see how it feels for you. And taking a moment to allow the knees and the legs to settle here. Maybe close your eyes as those hips relax. And if you find that your hips feel nice and relaxed, but you want to take it a little bit deeper, you can always take your left elbow and hook it into the bottom of your foot. So coming into a little bit of a twist, and you can rest your head onto your hand. Maybe take your right hand behind you and rest it on the floor. And this just gives that left hip a little more intensity. So just listening to your body, only doing what feels right for you. And we'll take 5 more breaths like this. Allowing your muscles in your face to soften. Your breath to go into any tight spots. And if your head is in your palm, just lifting it up and slowly unwinding. And we'll just take the legs back out, give them a little wiggle. And then we'll get ready to do the other side. So left shin parallel to the top of the side of the mat. Right leg setting on top. So those legs are like they're in a fire log shape, one on top of the other. And letting the right knee relax and settle down. You'll feel this in your right hip. Again, if it's too intense, you can prop up with some pillows or bolsters. If it's way too much for you tonight, you can always cross your legs into an easy pose. Close your eyes for a moment while you settle here. And if you want, you can take it a bit deeper, taking that right elbow into the right foot, maybe letting your head rest into your palm of your hand, and taking the left hand behind you, resting it on your lower back. And just noticing how this side feels. Noticing how by putting that elbow into the bottom of your foot, you get a little more of a stretch in the right hip. And using that breath, using your exhale, and allowing the exhale to dissolve and move any tightness or tension in your hip. And take a few more breaths. And then slowly bringing your head back up, coming back around, taking those legs and just give them a little shake. Beautiful. We're going to cross our legs into easy pose. And before we lay down onto the mat, we're going to do alternative nostril breathing. And this is a great way to come into balance. A great way to connect our thinking mind with our feeling mind. Sometimes the thinking mind gets a little bit out of balance with what's going on in our heart. So this is a great way to kind of bring everything together. It gets the left side of our brain connected to the right side. So taking your maybe right hand and the peace fingers. And what we're going to do is we're going to bring the peace fingers down so that our ring finger and our thumb are coming up. If that doesn't quite feel right for you, you can always use both fingers. We're going to go back and forth with our fingers. So taking your peace fingers down and having your thumb and your ring finger up, I'm going to talk you through it. So taking a breath in through both nostrils. And then closing off the right side, we're going to exhale through the left. And then inhale through the left, closing that side. side and exhale through the right. Inhale through the right. Close and exhale through the left. Inhale left. Close, exhale right. Inhale right. Close, exhale left. Inhale left. Close, exhale right. Inhale right. Close, exhale left. Do one more on your own, alternating from one side to the other. And then bringing your hand down, close your eyes, checking in to see how you're feeling. Maybe feeling a little bit more balanced. Beautiful. And then we're going to come all the way down onto the floor. Getting yourself comfortable on the mat. Lift your hips, stretch your arms back out into a T or maybe a cactus shape. And then letting your knees float down to the right. Getting them comfortable, making any adjustments. So your shoulders stay resting on the mat as your head looks over to the left. Breathing all the way down the length of your spine. And just allowing your back to relax and to unlock. Giving yourself a little adjustment with just your breath. Closing your eyes here and allowing everything to soften. And very slowly bringing the knees and the head back to center. Maybe lift your hips a little bit and set them back down. We're going to come over to the other side, so letting your knees float down to the left as your head looks to the right. Closing your eyes and just following the flow of your breath. See if you can get any adjustments happening on this side as your back relaxes a little bit more. Making sure your shoulders are relaxed. Facial muscles are soft. Breath is flowing all the way down into your belly. And we'll slowly bring the knees and the head back to center. Maybe bring your knees into your chest and just rocking slowly from side to side for a moment. Giving your back a little massage. And then bringing your feet back down to the floor. If your pillow or your bolster is handy, we're going to take it and just lift the hips up, setting your hips back down onto your pillow or bolster. So your hips are a little bit higher than your chest and your heart. And then taking your feet up towards the ceiling. If you have a wall, you can scooch up towards the wall, maybe bring your feet up along the wall. And we're going to hang out in this waterfall pose, letting your hands relax. Shoulders, head are heavy on the floor. Closing your eyes. This is a great pose to come into at the end of the day. Allows the blood to flow freely from your feet. Releases any fluids that might have pooled there. And I always like to imagine while I'm in this pose, just imagine that waterfall flowing from your toes, flowing onto your forehead. Maybe imagine it washing away any busy thoughts, any negativity, anything that wasn't working for you. Just imagine it being washed away with that flow of water from your toes. And taking 5 more breaths here. And slowly lowering one leg at a time back down to the floor. Allowing your legs to get nice and heavy. Having this slight back bend here with your pillow or bolster under your hips. Just allowing the stretch across the top of your hip bone. Breathing all the way down into your belly. Feeling the beautiful support of the floor. And then we'll bend one knee at a time, lifting your hips up and pushing your pillow or your bolster down towards your heels so that your back can be resting on the floor. And then stretching your legs out, maybe having that bolster or pillow underneath your knees. We're going to come into our final shape here. Coming into corpse pose. You can have your palms lifting up towards the ceiling, resting on the floor. Shoulders relaxing. Face softening. Doing a scan of your body. Allowing your feet to relax. Your legs to soften and relax. Hips relaxed. Stomach, shoulders relaxing. Arms supported by the floor. Jawline relaxed and all the muscles in your face soft. Maybe finding a smile. While you're here, I'd like to share a poem by Dana Falls called Go In and In. Go in and in, be the space between two cells, the vast resounding silence in which spirit dwells. Be sugar dissolving on the tongue of life. Dive in and in, as deep as you can dive. Be infinite, ecstatic truth. Be love conceived and born in union. Be exactly what you seek, the beloved singing yes, tasting yes, embracing yes, until there is only essence. Be all of everything expressing through you as you. Go in and turn away from nothing that you find. And slowly begin to wiggle your fingers and your toes, bringing a full breath into your belly. And then bring your knees into your chest, slowly making your way back up to a seated position. Beautiful. Bringing your hands together at your heart center. We'll take a collective breath in and breath out. Breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth. So taking a breath in and out. Beautiful. May you all feel more balanced. Namaste.